Imagine a border dispute, decades old, simmering with this really intense nationalist feeling. And then suddenly it just erupts into a full-scale war in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and that's not a hypothetical, is it? It's the harsh reality right now between two nations.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into this recent 2025 Cambodia-Thailand border conflict.
We've been digging through a whole stack of sources, the detailed Wikipedia entry, news reports from places like India Today and CBC, plus academic stuff from the Cambodian Institute for Cooperation and Peace, and even Stanford.
And our mission really is to try and untangle all the complex layers here, separate the claims from the counterclaims, just help you understand what's actually going on and why it's important, kind of a shortcut to getting informed without getting totally buried in details.
Right, and to really get it, you have to go back, way back.
So where do these tensions originally come from? What are the historical roots?
Well, it really stretches back to these Franco-Siamese treaties in 1904 and 1907. Back then, it was the Kingdom of Siam, now Thailand, and French Indochina, which included Cambodia.
Okay.
And these treaties, they created some, pretty ambiguous borderlines, that vagueness, that imprecision. It's been a constant source of friction ever since. It sort of laid the groundwork for everything we're seeing now.
And a big part of that friction centers on that ancient temple, Priya Vihar, right?
Yeah.
The 11th century one?
Absolutely central. In 1962, the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, actually awarded sovereignty over the temple structure itself to Cambodia.
Okay, so ruling for Cambodia on the temple.
Yes, but, and this is the crucial bit, the sovereignty over the land around the temple, that 4.6 square kilometer area, that remained contested, still up for grabs, basically.
So a ruling, but not really a complete solution.
Not at all. And even when the ICJ tried to clarify things again in 2013, they confirmed Cambodia owned the whole promontory, the land the temple sits on. But they still left the exact borderline, the demarcation, for the two countries to negotiate.
Wow. So that legal gray area plus nationalism.
Exactly. It just kept fueling tensions. We saw serious clashes between 2008 and 2011. Because of it, people died. It shows how international law, even when it tries to settle things, can leave these gaps that keep causing problems if the core issue isn't fully resolved.
And it's not just Priya Vihar that's causing trouble now, is it?
No, not anymore. This current conflict, it also involves other disputed temples. There's Prasat Tamwan Tom, or Tamon, as Cambodia calls it, and also Tamuan Touch, Tokrabe.
And Cambodia's taken these new sites to the ICJ as well.
They have filed a new case. But Thailand has its own claims, especially about Tam Wan Tom. They say, look, we registered this as a Thai heritage site way back in 1935. It's been under our authority. All the signs are in Thai.
Okay.
But Cambodia's perspective is, well, these are Khmer temples historically, regardless of who controls the land now. They talk about these white line zones, areas where the border wasn't defined, but they say there were agreements for shared access.
So it's about heritage, identity, not just lines on a map.
Definitely. It cuts much deeper. You've got Cambodia relying on those 1904-1907 treaties and maps.
Which Thailand says aren't accurate or even legitimate.
Right. And then there's this broader historical narrative playing out. You hear views in Cambodia about Thailand having, destroyed their once prosperous empire. Whereas Thailand emphasizes, we were never colonized, though, yes, we did give up territory under pressure. These different historical lenses just pour fuel on the nationalist fire, making compromise incredibly hard.
And then you throw in the military situation. There's quite an imbalance there, isn't there?
A significant one, yes. Thailand has a much larger active military, about 360,000 soldiers to Cambodia's 220,000. And critically, Thailand has a proper air force with F-16s. Cambodia, no fighter jets, no attack helicopters.
That must shape how each side approaches this.
For sure. It might explain why Cambodia often pushes for international help like the UN or ICJ, while Thailand really prefers to keep it bilateral, just between them. They're playing to their strengths, you could say.
Okay, so we have this long history, these ongoing disputes, the military imbalance. What actually lit the fuse in 2025? What were the specific events leading up to the fighting?
It seemed to start simmering early in the year. February 13th, there was this incident. Thai soldiers stopped Cambodian tourists from singing their national anthem at Tam Wan Tom, kind of a symbolic clash.
Right.
Then, May 28th, a brief skirmish, and sadly, one Cambodian soldier was killed. These were clear warning signs.
Was anyone tracking who was escalating things more?
Yeah, there was an analysis by Nathan Ruser at ASPI, the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. He tracked events leading up to the main fighting.
And what did he find?
His analysis pointed to Cambodia being responsible for about 33 escalatory actions compared to 14 by Thailand. There were only about 9 joint de-escalation moves. He also noted Cambodia seemed pretty quick to move in reinforcements and build new roads, new fortifications near the border.
Suggesting a more proactive stance, maybe?
That's what the report suggested, yeah. Meanwhile, attempts to cool things down failed. There was a military meeting May 29th. Bilateral talks June 5th, neither worked. Thailand boosted its border forces.
And then Cambodia hit back economically.
Seems like it. June 17th, they banned imports of Thai fruit, and interestingly, Thai soap operas.
Soap operas.
Yeah, maybe hitting culturally as well as economically. Then came the checkpoint closures. Thailand shut one down June 21st, citing security.
And Cambodia retaliated.
Immediately. June 22nd, they closed 2 of their own checkpoints and stopped all fuel and gas imports from Thailand.
Wow, okay. Escalating quickly.
Very. By June 23rd, Thailand closed all its border checkpoints across 7 provinces. They linked it publicly to fighting transnational crime, trafficking, call centers, scams, but the timing was obviously tied to the tensions.
And right in the middle of this, Thailand had its own political drama brewing.
Big time. On June 24th, Thailand's anti-corruption body, the NACC, started investigating the Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra. A phone call she had with Hun Sen, who used to be Cambodia's leader and was then Senate president. She apparently called him uncle, using really familiar language.
Uncle.
Yeah.
And that caused problems.
Huge problems. Accusations flew, even things like high treason. It led to her being suspended from making key decisions.
How did the call even become public?
Well, many analysts think Hun Sen himself publicized it, and doing that, it really upset the political balance in Thailand, arguably gave the Thai military more influence just as things were heating up with Cambodia.
What a mess. And the military incidents kept happening, too.
They did. June 26th, the Thai Navy said they shot down 4 unknown drones. July 4th, a verbal standoff between armed Cambodian soldiers and Thai border forces. Then July 13th, kind of a strange one, a Thai tourist apparently attacked a Cambodian soldier at Tam Wen Tam.
Just adding to the tension. But what was the absolute final straw?
It really seems to have been these landmine incidents. July 16th and again July 23rd, Thai soldiers patrolling the border were injured by PMN-2 landmines. These are nasty Soviet-era anti-personnel mines. One soldier lost his leg.
Oh, God. And Thailand blamed Cambodia.
Immediately. They accused Cambodia of laying new mines, which would be a major violation of the Ottawa Treaty banning landmines.
What did Cambodia say?
They denied it, of course, said the mines were old, maybe left over from the Cold War, or they even hinted maybe Thai forces planted them, just completely conflicting stories.
But Thailand took it very seriously.
Extremely. They called it a clear violation of Thailand's sovereignty, an inhumane act. And right after that second incident, on July 23rd, Thailand downgraded diplomatic ties, pulled their ambassador, kicked out Cambodia's envoy.
So that was it. The point of no return.
Seems like it, because the very next day, July 24th, the direct fighting started. And predictably, both sides immediately said they were just acting in self-defense.
Right, the classic narrative. So day 1, July 24th, what were the initial reports coming out of Thailand?
Thailand claimed Cambodian drones and soldiers approached their base at Tam Wen Tam and started shooting. They also said Cambodian BM-21 rockets, those are multiple rocket launchers, hit near a residential area, Prasat Don Tuan.
Civilians hit.
Tragically, yes. Thailand reported a gas station was hit, 8 civilians killed, including an 8-year-old boy. They also said a hospital, Phnom Dongrak Hospital, was struck, causing injuries and forcing an evacuation.
And Thailand's military response.
They said their Air Force sent in F-16s, bombed Cambodian positions near Chang'an Ma, destroyed some military bases, claimed they took out 2 Cambodian tanks, and launched something called Operation Yutha Bodin.
Okay, so that's the Thai version of day 1. What about Cambodia's?
Cambodia painted a very different picture. They said the Thai military launched an armed assault, blocked public access to Tam Wen Tam by force, and called it an unprovoked incursion.
And Hun Sen.
He went public saying Cambodia had no choice but to fight back, placing the blame squarely on Thailand for escalating. By the end of that first day, reports said over 5,000 Cambodians had fled their homes in Odar Minchi province. Just awful.
And the fighting didn't stop there. Day 2, July 25th.
Clashes continued, more reports of Thai military strikes, F-16s again, and there were claims, serious ones, about the use of cluster munitions.
Cluster munitions, those are banned by many countries.
Exactly, very controversial. Also on day 2, 4 explosives reportedly landed on a primary school in Cambodia's Odar Minchi province, leading to school closures there. And the Thai Navy declared martial law in some of its border provinces, Chanthaburi and Trat.
Things were definitely escalating, and accusations were flying too.
Oh, yeah. The Thai Navy accused Cambodia of violating the Geneva Convention, basically committing war crimes by, quote, deliberately bombing hospitals, communities, and historical sites that belong to Thailand.
Strong words.
Yeah.
What about day 3, July 26th?
The Thai Navy claimed Cambodian troops tried a new push into Trat province at a place called Ban Cham Rak. Thailand said they responded with their own operation, Trat Phaya Tat Ferry 1.
And there was something about Laos.
Yeah, reports emerged that maybe 10 artillery shells landed inside Laos. The Thai army initially pointed the finger at Cambodia.
Did Cambodia respond?
They denied it, accused Thailand of spreading fake news, just more confusion and conflicting claims.
And the human cost by that point. What were the casualty figures looking like?
They were grim and different depending on who you asked. Cambodia reported 6 soldiers, 8 civilians killed, about 71 people injured, and around 30,000 displaced.
And Thailand?
Thailand reported higher numbers, 7 soldiers, 14 civilians killed, 29 soldiers, 45 civilians injured, and displacement figures were huge, over 100,000 people. It's always hard to verify numbers in the middle of a conflict, but clearly a terrible human toll already.
Let's shift to diplomacy, or the attempts at it. Cambodia seemed keen on involving international bodies, right?
Yes, consistently. Back on June 2nd, even before the major fighting, Prime Minister Hun Manet announced Cambodia would file that complaint with the ICJ over the disputed temples, saying he hoped Thailand would agree to go that route.
And once the fighting started?
On July 24th, they immediately requested an urgent UN Security Council meeting. They wanted the UN to step in and stop what they called Thailand's aggression.
But Thailand wasn't interested in the ICJ or the UN.
Not really, no. Their position has been pretty firm. Border issues should be handled bilaterally, just between them and Cambodia. They reject the ICJ having jurisdiction over actually drawing the borderline.
So they prefer negotiation, not international courts.
Exactly. And on July 25th, they sent their own letter to the UN Security Council laying out their side, claiming they had clear proof Cambodia violated their sovereignty and international law.
Did anyone try to mediate? Other countries?
Yes, offers came in from the US, China, Malaysia. But Thailand turned them all down. They kept insisting. Bilateral talks only. It suggests maybe they feel they have a stronger hand dealing directly, or perhaps they just don't trust outside mediators on this specific issue.
It seems like there was almost a ceasefire deal, though, proposed by Malaysia.
There was. Both sides apparently agreed initially. It was set to start at midnight on July 24th.
But it fell through.
Yeah, controversially, Thailand backed out just about an hour before it was supposed to take effect. That really showed how deep the distrust was running. A ceasefire agreed, then withdrawn at the last minute.
What was the reaction from other countries in the region, like ASEAN members?
Pretty much unified concern. Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, they all urged restraint, de-escalation, peaceful talks. They stressed sticking to ASEAN principles like the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation.
And further afield?
Similar calls for calm. Australia, Canada, China, France, India, Japan, New Zealand, Russia, South Korea, the UK, the US, all expressing alarm, especially about civilian casualties, and pushing for dialogue.
And then U.S. President Trump got involved directly.
He did, yeah. On July 26th, he announced he'd spoken to both leaders. He apparently threatened to hold back trade deals if the fighting didn't stop, and then said they'd agreed to immediate ceasefire talks. Quite a direct intervention from a major power.
Beyond the immediate fighting and diplomacy, what about the wider fallout? The economic impact sounds pretty severe.
Oh, it's been massive. Transportation costs alone jumped something like 30% because goods had to be rerouted. We're talking about disrupting maybe $1.2 billion in trade between them annually.
Billion, wow.
Yeah. And closing those 7 border crossings, especially the big one at Sakeo, that just crippled the flow of everything: farm goods, energy, consumer products.
Thailand stopped energy exports to Cambodia, too.
They did, which forced Cambodia to scramble and look for other sources. And tourism, obviously a huge moneymaker for both.
Took a big hit.
Huge. Thailand saw about a 15% drop in Chinese visitors, which is significant for them. And visitors to the Preah Vihear temple area in Cambodia, down by 70%. It's a ripple effect hitting many sectors.
You mentioned a bifurcated market. What's that?
Yeah, it's interesting. Stock markets reflected the situation. Tourism and retail stocks went down, understandably. But defense company stocks and logistics companies, they actually went up. Shows who profits and who loses in these situations.
And what does all this mean for ASEAN, the regional group? It seems to expose some weaknesses.
It really does. It highlights how fragile ASEAN's economic setup can be, and maybe its limits when it comes to handling serious security crises between members.
Especially with Thailand rejecting ASEAN mediation.
Exactly. Thailand sticking to bilateral talks, refusing ASEAN's help, it signals a real lack of trust in the regional mechanisms for settling disputes, at least from their perspective.
Has that created opportunities for others?
It seems so. With us on kind of sidelined on this, reports suggest other regional players like Vietnam and Indonesia might have used the situation to get better trade deals with the U.S. It could even hint at a bit of a power shift in Southeast Asia's economy.
So the conflict really puts ASEAN in a tough spot.
Definitely. It underlines that constant challenge for ASEAN. How do you act as a strong regional bloc while also respecting that each member state prioritizes its own sovereignty and national interests, especially in a crisis?
So wrapping this up, it's clear this conflict is this really dangerous mix. You've got the deep historical roots, the specific border disputes that never got fully resolved, domestic politics playing a huge role in both countries, and then these immediate triggers, like the landmines.
Yeah, and it just shows how incredibly difficult it is to de-escalate things once that level of distrust sets in and when, internal political pressures are pushing leaders towards confrontation rather than compromise.
Which leaves us with a pretty challenging thought, doesn't it?
I think so. In a world that's so connected, what's the real responsibility of regional bodies, or even the international community, when two countries are locked in conflict but one, or both, insists has to be solved just between them?
Right. That idea of national sovereignty, which is obviously crucial, sometimes become an obstacle to peace, especially when outside help is refused and people's lives are on the line.
It's a tough question with no easy answers, something to definitely keep thinking about.